There's a picture of metal being hit with a hammer.
우리는 닥터 friends.
Hi, we're Dr. Friends. Today's popular medical history.
A segment seeking fame.
I've read a lot to prepare, so
You've prepared a lot.
thought I'd write a novel.
Today's story.
Headache treatments history.
Headache treatments. Something many still suffer from.
Headaches are common. Who hasn't?
Slight headache.
Right?
When you're stressed,
Stressed.
take Tylenol.
We say Tylenol, but it's acetaminophen. How was it treated in the past? The head's crucial. You know.
In Three Kingdoms, Cao Cao met Hua-Tu for head surgery. They suggested a craniotomy, but
There's a story where Hua-Tu was killed, and then Cao Cao died, possibly due to a spirit. Ancient people knew the brain was for thinking. It's warfare
Really?
history. My friend spoke well yesterday, but today he fought and got hit on the head. He can't speak, think, or do what he used to. The brain is crucial for our thoughts. A severe headache that lingers is a sign of spirit possession, something blocking your thoughts. To fix it, you must remove the spirit. They shaved the head, opened the skull.
That seems excessive.
It's said that people perform trepanation not for pressure relief, but believing the spirit would escape. If they died, then, oh, spirit too strong, so they died. Survived, spirit left, headache stays. Open it again.
but the skull is really hard.
Since 7,000 years ago, they drilled with stones. So the inference they made was, among people with headaches, like those with brain tumors.
Excruciating, right?
Cases like this.
Not for mild.
When headaches feel like splitting, seizures begin, and a coma follows, people thought. Possession. Remove fast.
When a tumor grows inside, the brain's closed space causes pressure to increase, leading to frequent seizures.
Opening it sometimes improved symptoms as the brain pressure dropped.
That makes sense.
They didn't treat the underlying disease. But by alleviating some symptoms, some people lived a few more months or even years. And this decisively made them believe more around the 10th century,
10th century,
the civilized age. They drilled for headaches to remove spirits, but found a black worm.
A parasite.
So they said, oh, we need to remove this worm.
possessed worm.
Then they did it more. But thinking about it now, that black worm was probably a chronic subdural hematoma. The blood collected and hardened.
Subdural hematoma.
Blood can collect under the bone if a nearby vessel bursts, and if left alone, it grows, pressing on the brain, causing headaches.
They opened it randomly.
Opening it shows a clot.
They saw the black worm, removed it, and got better. The excited doctors spread the word to open heads for headaches, leading to a long history. 4th century BC, Hippocrates.
He's here.
The great doctor did everything. Amazingly, he identified migraine symptoms. A headache type causing intense pain, flashing before eyes, reaching temples, head, and neck. What's the cause? Remember the bodily fluids theory.
Yes.
Bile, black bile, phlegm, blood. His main focus?
Blood.
Blood. Bleed it, as excess in the head causes pain.
That's bloodletting.
Initially, head bloodletting wasn't considered.
Not easy.
Doctors were nervous too. They'd lie the patient on a short bed, ankles out, then prick there.
Oh dear.
Blood comes out.
Veins show.
It hurts less. If unnoticed, no more pricks. Still hurts. Okay. They prick arm veins. More blood comes out. People often faint, and sometimes tension headaches vanish. When they wake, what was I doing? They're better, but some headaches persist.
Cuz is different.
Right, Ochumas.
Forehead veins show.
Visible from side.
They stab here. It turns serious. They shave. They draw blood. Still not working. They cauterize the scalp.
Destroy vessels.
I don't know their aim. Maybe eliminate the head because it hurts.
When there's different pain, the original fades. Does it hurt here? Okay, if I hit here, then this hurts.
This treatment evolved systematically. How to safely draw blood? The nose, its roof is the head's base. So they drew from there. A broken goose feather is sharp, they pierce the nose with it. In that barbaric era, Darwin's grandfather said, "It's ignorant, stop drawing blood." Blood causes pain, but they knew centrifugal force. So, if you spin a person with their head in the center, the blood would go to the legs.
That's right.
Then we can reduce the blood in the head without having to let it out. It's like enduring gravity.
Then you faint.
You faint, and the headache disappears. But if there's an underlying cause, and you spin without knowing Valsalva, you might not wake up. Often can't wake up.
How did they spin people?
They used electricity and manpower to pedal a bicycle and spin it back in the late 18th century.
Manually.
Well, they had electricity back then. In the late 18th century, they used electricity and manpower to pedal a bicycle and spin it. They'd hang the person.
Twice gravity.
Discovery of vessels. They discovered blood vessels contract and relax. Fascinating, right?
Oh,
Nerves were mysterious. They experimented with electricity on frog nerves, leading to ideas about using electricity on blood vessels, still thinking headaches were from blood congestion.
especially what does something like pulsatile headache?
It goes thump, 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 thump.
Bang,
They
bang,
were
bang.
fixated on blood flow solutions. In the 19th century, during the British Empire's era, they even looked into using electric eels from South America. Records exist of curing headaches. They found South American eels produced about 600 volts, better than European or Asian ones. So they thought, this is it. They used it like an electric chair, risking death.
Full ECT.
Not as precise as ECT, but zap, headache is gone.
After fainting.
Feels like reset.
It feels reset. Depression can cause headaches. That improved, leading to obsession. It's electricity. But the electric chair was sometimes weak since eels aren't machines. Frustrated, they made an electric bathtub. Patient in, electricity on.
They might die.
They might die or faint, but felt better afterward. Electric treatments developed a lot. They thought pressing on blood vessels might cause changes, so they started applying pressure. It was actually the safest.
Try acupressure.
Seems plausible.
Looks weak.
Seems folkish.
A bit. Something invasive.
You must act. The 19th century was the scientific age.
As sparks flew.
If I'm a scientist, and you tell me to do acupressure, it feels inadequate, like an old treatment. So they wanted to try vibration with machines. They had this metal thing and a hammer. That's a misunderstanding, a later rumor. Vibration treatments were delicate, using a pendulum. Did it work? Not really, so they mostly turned to electric treatments. Then accidents happened. The head,
Many accidents happened.
it seemed nothing pressed well. So they tried spots like the carotid artery.
It does.
Press here hard, they faint.
They faint.
But it's like causing a stroke. They didn't know the pressure. So they pressed until it didn't hurt. Then couldn't get up. A stroke occurred and bad vessels meant death.
If vessels are bad here, they're bad elsewhere.
If there's arteriosclerosis and plaque, pressing might cause a blockage. Such cases existed until a 20th century discovery improved things. Painkillers emerged. They made these drugs from willow bark extracts.
Don't underestimate these drugs.
They're amazing. Without them, drastic measures were needed for headaches.
There are many headache types, like migraines and cluster headaches.
Right? Organic causes like tumors or infarction were all thought to be due to blood congestion. Such terrible things were done in the name of treatment.
Exactly.
Headache is our minor compared to other weird things I've found. I'm researching and creating content.
I'm eager.
You can look forward to it. We'll be back with more bizarre stories from the history of medicine.
It's bizarre now.
Thank you.
Thank you.